All right, we are joined by Kelly Accetta. Speaking of things that are fickle, sometimes stereotypes exist for a reason. Other times they could be a little bit off base. And when it comes down to who's most emotional, in this case in the workplace, well, it turns out that the stereotype might not add up. Kelly Accetta, a personal development coach, is joining us once again at Kelly Accetta on Twitter. Kelly, so what? It's the guys that tend to be the most emotional at work?
It's amazing, but the research points to exactly that. It's amazing.
Now, how much of this is, are guys that fake it? In other words, even to the extent that the stereotype exists, you have guys that kind of put on, their tough face or whatever, but they're really churning inside. Is that probably what goes on here a lot of the time?
Right, and it's more, unfortunately, and there's been a lot of research done on when women are emotional in the workplace, it tends to be tears. And men do not respond well when a woman starts to cry in the workplace. They want to just leave the situation immediately. They don't know what to do. So I think that's why the stigma is so much more so on us. But in reality, the research shows that men are more emotional. They're most likely to quit a job if they're triggered by their emotions, 20% versus 11% for women. Men are twice as likely to start shouting, 43% versus 26% for women. And men are twice as likely to get emotional because their ideas weren't heard, quote unquote, or because they were criticized. So it's different emotions, but it's still emotion. And men are more emotional at work as far as the research is concerned.
And what's interesting is there was a recent study that was separate that kind of goes into the same place. There was a study sponsored by Zevo, conducted by one poll, that found that more men are afraid of dealing with bugs than women. Are you surprised by that one at all?
I am really surprised by that one. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it actually... I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's wonderful that we're finally diving into this and we're trying to break this stereotype wide open, because emotions are something we all have to deal with. And if we just ignore them or sweep them under the rug or pretend we don't have them, then we don't deal with them in a healthy way.
Well said, for sure. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for taking the time with us and helping slay the dragon of some of these stereotypes that aren't necessarily true anymore.
Absolutely. My pleasure, Brian.
At Kelly Accetta on Twitter.